Hello, I'm Zardus, and let's play City Skylines. Welcome back to Copper Ridge. This will be episode 3 in the series, and we're going to jump right in here. I did a couple of things off camera. First of all, I tweaked the traffic circle a little bit using Traffic Manager. You can see the lanes. I just kind of set them up the way we want them to be. And then I also used Prop It Up to change some of the trees. And I did go in to several of these individual buildings, but it looks like some of them still have the vanilla trees in them. So we can go ahead and just kind of come in here and change that real quick. Like that, and then replacing bushes with the small conifers. But anyway, I'd like to do that sort of thing off camera so you don't have to watch me go in a whole bunch of buildings. But what you'll notice is that we are starting to have more and more fire issues. So like here we had a couple of buildings burned down, and I was wondering why they were burning down because we did build a fire department. And then I looked around and I discovered that we had a massive forest fire in our forestry lumber area. So that is one thing to take care of. But right now I'm just going to take out all of these buildings that burned down. Carefully not taking down any of the underlying trees because that would make it so that we don't have a forest here anymore. But things should grow back in there, and that'll be a long-term thing. And you can see it's still burning, and I'm sure we'll get more forest fires there soon. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and address another issue. Although those people aren't there anymore. Okay, so I was going to say we had some sick people, so we needed a clinic, but they're not there, so we don't bother, but we do have the money, so let's go ahead and throw it in here. We'll put it on the same block as the police station and stuff like that. That'll make everybody in this town pretty happy. And then we also need more residential zoning. Let's come back over here to Timber Creek and work on adding some more of that. And we are doing a little bit of a variety of home sizes here in Timber Creek. So let's continue with that a little bit here. And most of it I think we'll keep at 3x3, but every once in a while I'm throwing in these bigger blocks of homes. And we'll keep this at 3x3 as well. Although I'll put a bigger one in here. And that should get us some more people in. And let's see, we are closing in on our next milestone. At which point we'll get some good stuff, but we're not there right now. So let's keep on with this. And we're getting closer to 10% unemployment, so I'll go ahead and add some more commercial zoning in here. This will rebuild once that forest regrows. In the meantime, we're without that zoning. What's frustrating is I had also changed the these Prop It Up to make this forest look a bit more blended in, but oh well. Alright, so over here we are getting people moving in. But like I said, we're going to need more jobs here soon. Let's go ahead and add more. Actually, I don't want to do it here because I want this road. Well, we can always demolish. some small stuff in there. Though there's not much variety in terms of buildings for the game to choose from. And one thing I am going to do is try to play with LOD's toggle, although that really hurt the frame rate, didn't it? Alright, only slightly did, but anyway, so we're going to come back over here and look at Frisco. At some point, I don't know what I want to do here. I think if we keep a big industry area here, we're going to want a train yard somewhere over here, and it is pretty flat here, so that could be in there. And traffic is flowing just fine through this intersection, which is another concern that at some point we'll have more traffic. We do have a lot of logging trucks coming through our main town now, heading off the map. So what we could do eventually is put a truck ban in there. But I'm not sure that's what we want to do yet. So let's go ahead and get some more homes in here. And they're clamoring for some police coverage now. So we may need to take care of that. I also have to figure out how I want to do the remaining roads. So let's come this way to about there. And then let's angle like that, I think. And then we'll curve in. Yeah, that looks okay. I want to tweak that curve just slightly. There we go. That'll be that side. Then we can get another road like that. And then on this side, we want to stay on the top of this hill. We'll come in like that, and we'll bring this out. Did I tweak the hill? It did, okay. So we're gonna come to there, and bring this the rest of the way. Though now the hill curves again. So let's do like that. And then we'll resume the grid over that way. So now in here we will get our 3x3, we'll get 2x2s there. And let's check water. I don't think they have water over here yet. Oh, they do. Okay. But power, we can start bringing some homes over here. And then we'll be able to jump that power a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so we can get rid of this. Let's come back here. Unemployment is low again, so that's good. That means we should be able to get more people in here, like that. And let's continue that way. Get a bigger one in there. And a little this way too. that should fill that in pretty good. And now we're about to hit that milestone. I'm going to drink some tea first. There it is. Alright, we are Boomtown. So we can start doing buses and ferries and trams, which I do want to do some of public trains at some point. I'm not sure we're ready for that yet because our traffic is fine. Yeah, we don't have any need for public transit yet. But eventually we will have stuff going on from there. Okay, so let's go this way. Add homes to this little block, as well as this one. Fill in those two. I don't know why I missed them. And there, our forestry industry has recovered. Alright, so next in terms of industry, we could continue more forestry, I suppose. Or we're doing imports and exports. So a little bit of our forest is being exported, but not too bad. Speed the game back up. One thing I did do is I downloaded my muddy gravel road, just because it, I don't know, it makes it, well, I don't know if it needs to be muddy, but let's go ahead and do it, just because I like having it. I feel like the vanilla gravel road is pretty bright in terms of that gravel. Even with the change I made to the gravel theme, or like in the theme. Maybe outside of the forest we leave it a little bit better maintained, because it's not, I mean, the sun probably dries that a bit better. There, that looks better. Okay, so then what else we want to do is we want to, because we have plenty of space to zone more in there when we have the people. And how big is Timber Creek now? 900 people. Well, Frisco has 1,800, so we can build more here. I think we should go this way next. So let's bring the road up this way. Get a couple more zoning grids in. That is perfect there, I think. And I don't want that curve. This. And that's only going to do an angle. Let's take that out. Build that at an angle first. And then get that straight. Like that. I like that. Okay. So then let's bring this road out that way. And that's going to cause some really weird zoning right in the middle there. So now let's come back and get some water over here, actually. Bring that down this way. Just stick it under the road for now. It's the easiest way to do that. And then start getting the people in. So we'll have people up there. And some bigger homes in there too. And then this side, we'll get some in there too. Unemployment has really stayed low so far, which is very good because we can keep building more and more people. But we have to be careful not to get those death waves started, which frequently happens if you build too many people at once. Now, I do think I want to continue this road out a little more. Let's do that, and then just angle in as well. Because then we have a nice shoreline for the city. And then we'll also continue this one out. Another square in there. And bring this one like that. Straighten that out. That wasn't quite the right angle, but I think it looks fine. Then bring it like that. Now it doesn't look right. There, I like that angle better. Yeah, I like that design for the city. Okay. So now we're back up to 10% unemployment, so we can come over here and get a little bit more of the forestry area built. Start having a variety of building sizes here as well. Most of them will just kind of fill in. And in fact, I'm going to just go ahead and fill all of these in. And now, eventually, what I think we'll do is we'll have a railroad line that runs, say, from about here over to the generic industry area. And that will ease any traffic that we get from this industry going that way. In the meantime, looks like death care is starting to be an issue. So we need to build a cemetery. Let's not have that be on the main road, but instead, let's have a gravel road come off this way. We'll put the cemetery over here, like that. power and water, apparently. Put it just outside the reach of the power lines. There we go. So that will provide death care. Now, Timber Creek, we're going to need to start having a police station and stuff like that. Let's see where we can fit that. Can get a fire station in here. And put a police station in over here. They also are going to want schools, I suppose. So we can... Actually, I don't think we built a school over in Frisco yet, did we? Nope, we don't have any schools yet. Let's hold off on that for now. Because we are straining the budget a tiny bit by having these two different towns. We need a cemetery over here too. How much does a cemetery cost? Only 160 a week, so that's not bad. So we can add that. Let's have that up here on the hill. So we'll have this road head straight up the hill here. And then we'll put a cemetery up here. Like that. Now, so it's going to need power and water as well. Let's bring that up that way. And power can come right from here. Oh, it's a little bit funny going off on that angle, but that's okay. So, where are we at? We've got 2% unemployment. We're going to have to start having discussions about where we're going to put another town. And let's fill in the remainder of this town first of all. Or at least another few blocks here. We'll save this spot for the school, I think. Okay, so let's talk, where could we put another town? We've got one here, we've got one here. I think Timber Creek might grow a little bit bigger. How flat is it in here? We could, I suppose that's kind of the extent of that part of the town. There's some space in here for a little town. So this might be about where Breckenridge is in real life. There's also space down here. You have to build a bridge. But this is a rather large area here, and then also over here. This is a nice big spot. So let's go ahead and put a district here. So that we can talk about the name. I've had a couple of name suggestions that we could use here. If you have some as well, then leave a comment with your suggestion. But this will be one area, and then this is another good spot for town. So we've got two districts here, Woodland and Broad Park. So leave a comment with your suggestion of what we could call that. And yeah, let's go ahead and get our school in here now that we picked out a spot. And that won't cover everybody, but I mean, Timber Creek it should cover just fine. And traffic-wise, we're doing okay on this circle. Everything seems to be working fine. last thing in Timber Creek, and then we'll call this episode. We're going to build some bigger houses along the shore here. I think that they built the... Oh, that'll be fine. Just fill this all in. Make sure they have water. Most of them do. We can add a tiny bit here. And that'll be the end, like the extent of Timber Creek for now, I think. I mean, we do have some space. We can continue out this way, and maybe we will build out the rest on that ridge, but for now, I like the size of that town. Frisco, we have a lot more space. We can continue building. I mean, there's a lot of flat space over here as well. But I think next episode we'll go out into one of these two areas. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. What we'll end with here is I will load, let's see, we'll do this, and we will watch this real quick. So we want, nope. We have a smaller cinematic. Anyway, if you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you didn't, then too bad. I'm not sure why you're still watching at this point. And anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.